Who's COVID recovered? Woo! All right, congratulations. You have long-standing, durable immunity. So I have done that. It's been very instructive, and I feel like every time I see a new situation, it's more significant that I can gain my skills, up my game, basically, and learn new skills. And so that's been great. And maybe during the Q&A time, if you have questions about that, you can ask. So Dr. Yan, I am so excited. I've been able to meet her just a couple months ago and have grown to be her friend. She is fantastic. We're just delighted to have her here today. So Dr. Li-Ming Yan is a medical doctor, PhD, virologist, and independent coronavirus expert. She was educated at 2 top medical schools in China, Southern Medical University and Central South University. She was also a postdoctoral fellow in the School of Public Health at the University of Hong Kong. Because of her extensive professional network and scientific evidence, Dr. Yan has the distinction of being the only Chinese insider in the West with firsthand knowledge about the true nature of the virus, as well as the CCP's deceptive methods used to disguise their international bioweapons research. Since escaping from Hong Kong on April 28, 2020, she has been interviewed 4 times by the FBI, including an FBI virologist, and each time she has been deemed credible. Dr. Yan had spent 5 years researching influenza vaccines when, in January 2020, she was asked to investigate the Wuhan pneumonia that was sweeping the city. With that, she became one of the first scientists outside the Wuhan Institute of Virology to analyze SARS-CoV-2. From her WHO H5 reference lab at Hong Kong University, she determined conclusively that the virus was engineered in the lab to be an unrestricted bioweapon. She also determined through her investigation that the spread of the virus in Wuhan was not the result of a lab leak. Recognizing the great danger posed by the virus and the CCP plot to cover up its nefarious activities, Dr. Yan fled to the United States to reveal the truth to the world, and we are so grateful. Since coming to America, Dr. Yan has been the primary author of 3 research reports detailing the lab origins of SARS-CoV-2. Her other accomplishments include a patent-pending universal influenza vaccine, as well as highly recommended articles on SARS-CoV-2 in Nature. Dr. Yan has attracted worldwide media attention, including being interviewed by major news outlets in India, Spain, Japan, Italy, and across Asia. Examples include the Washington Post, Fox News, Newsmax, The John Batchelor Show, The Daily Mail, Tucker Carlson Tonight, and ITV in the UK. Would you please join me in welcoming Dr. Yan?
Thank you, everyone. I'm very happy to be here to meet all of you today. And I may take seconds to make my emotion go back to normal, because just now I heard a very sad story, and I feel very sorry about that family's lost. And what I want to say is, from the beginning, all these things should never ever happen. None of us should suffer this pandemic, come out from Wuhan in China, and come out from the labs owned by the Chinese government's military, People's Liberation Army. Please let me know how many of you feel sick about this pandemic. Okay, I see all of you raise your hand. How many of you really want to know why it happened? And how many of you, the last question, want to know how to solve this pandemic? Thank you. I see all the people's passions, and that's why we, part of the Global COVID Summit, part of all the patriots in America and all the brave people in China, Chinese brave people. So we try to help people understand what happened. And we try to help people to solve the pandemic. That's what we are doing. And that's why we also need your help. We need all work together for this. My story came out from 31st December 2019. That day, clearly I remember, my boss, WHO coronavirus expert Dr. Liu Peng, worked as the director of the WHO reference lab at the University of Hong Kong, brought me into his office and told me to conduct the confidential investigation about the novel virus come out in Wuhan. And he warned me again and again, be careful, don't cross the red line. If not, you will be disappeared. As a person born in China, mainland China, grew up from this communism culture, and also as a person staying in Hong Kong for almost 8 years and see what happened to Hong Kong pro-democracy protests, I clearly understand what it means. Being disappeared means physically or mentally. So people may not see you, you may be claimed as committed suicide, or you may get mad in the jail and no one will believe your word anymore. All these kind of things. However, I did this investigation, and based on my own very extensive network, involved China's military and also civilian laboratories, hospitals, even reached to the China CDC headquarters office, I got enough first-hand intelligence. And also, as the expert in the virus and also in response, I know what I collected. So based on all these things, my finding was shocked. And WHO, those experts, they didn't respond as they were requested to do it within 24 hours. Although I have feedback to those WHO experts I worked with, no response. They were compromised with China government. So until 19th January 2020, I cannot wait. I have to manage to deliver all these messages by myself. Before that, I know I can get disappeared at any moment. But as a doctor, as a virologist, I know the urgency. I know if I don't do that, I cannot forgive myself in my life. So what I have done is, I deliver this message, the analysis I have done, to a very great anti-Chinese communism party's YouTube blogger who's based in America. We never know each other before, so I spent 2 days convincing him that brave guy is not at the end of this room. Mr. Luder, he's my partner now. So he actually delivered all the main 5 messages on behalf of me through his YouTube blog. And because he has done a lot of anti-CCP work before, so Chairman Xi Jinping's team respond to that. The 5 message is, first, China government is covering up the real situation in Wuhan. At that time, they only claimed there were 62 cases. However, after his revelation within 4 hours, at midnight in China government has to admit there are triple patients, 198, and after that, immediately they admit that there are more patients, not only in Wuhan. The second part, there was human-to-human transmission. They know it, they don't tell you. Remember, before 19th January, WHO and CCP government again and again tell you, there is nothing you need to worry about. There is no human-to-human transmission. Since we delivered the message, within 24 hours, China government the first time admit human-to-human transmission exists. And they have to change the control of this disease because of that. The third thing is, There is no animal host, no intermediate host. The seafood market is just a smoke screen. Now we can see the scientific evidence show that animals don't like this virus. We humans like it best. None of the scientists can use the scientific evidence to explain this because they know it's impossible, although some of them try to cheat you. And also that seafood market actually is just a place China government want push you to believe, because then they can bring you to the selling animal and back to human or back to raccoon dog, back to civet cat, this kind of story. And by the way, we Chinese people never eat bad. They try to let you believe we drink some bad soup. Yeah. This government, I mean, crazy. The first things we tell people is, if China government didn't control it in time, at that time, mid-January 2020, there will be bigger outbreak and even pandemic all over the world. And also there will be numerous variants circulating during the pandemic. None of the scientists or doctor can tell it at that time, but now you know what happened, right? We see something called Omicron. But I want to ask people, the matter because in front of Omicron actually is XI. In China we call it Xi. The same pronunciation is as Chairman Xi Jinping. So where is the Xi variant? Or maybe all the variant has a general name, Xi variant. And then the last one is, there is the backbone of this virus, SARS-CoV-2. The backbone is from People's Liberation Army. They searched it from 2015 to 2017 under the support from China government, and get it from East China, the place called Zhoushan. So this Zhoushan bag carries some virus, and the Chinese military scientists successfully obtained this virus, keep it in their labs, they own it, and they published some articles to describe the potential infection from this virus to human, and they name it as ZC45, and there is a twin strain called ZXC21. These are virus, based on them, Chinese scientists under the government did a series of the gain of function modification to target human, including enhanced affinity of the binding site to target your receptor ACE2 all over your body. It's like the lock. So you have the lock, the receptor, and they make it the key. The key match your lock exactly. So this lock is all over your circulating system, organs. So when the virus carries the key, they change it to match the lock best, and it opens your body immediately. And there is scientific evidence as smoking gun to show it was modified by those Chinese scientists, and I have published it in my scientific report. And also, they have done something like furin cleavage site. The bat virus they found doesn't have it, but they know that the bat virus, if they increase this one, then it's like when you open the door with the key, and maybe the shape of the gate is not very perfect, but the furin cleavage site is to make this virus magically fit the gate and can go into your body very well, very quickly, efficient, and it can go circulating in your body. So it helps this virus come into the cells. They say they spend years to study, and now they all use the knowledge to this virus. So all these 5 points change the original strategies from Chinese government. Guess what they did? They say they cannot hide it. Then they immediately make the lockdown 3 days later, and still let people go all over the world. The innocent Chinese people, they even didn't know they are sick. They were not told they were sick. they don't get treatment, and then they were sent by government in this way to spread the virus all over the world. And the China government, on the other hand, they use their misinformation campaign. You know some leading scientists like Dr. Fauci, Dr. Peter Daszak in Echo Health helping Dr. Fauci, and also so many scientists from America or the other countries. They start to write in the top medical journal like Lancet, like Nature, to tell people, this is from nature. And China has done a good job to control the virus. We should learn from China. Yeah, as a Chinese people, I see this, I cannot believe it. So what I can do is, whatever they lie, I review it. Because I'm the person working with such people, I know they are lying. I have evidence they are lying. And I know China government is lying. So whatever they lie, I go through Modus Media twice daily to review it. And so that's why although it's in Chinese, but it still reach a lot of audience and feedback to China government, and they have to throw new misinformation, new excuse, and fabricate new things. For example, that woman's virus is fabricated. They claim they get the virus from the West China, a cave. And then they want to let you go to search the West China. So I bet, give you 100 years, you cannot find anything because they get it from East China and change it in the maps. See? That's how cunning China government is. And let me tell you the nature of this virus. It is novel bioweapon. And I name it as unrestricted bioweapon in my yearly report with my scientists. Because we obtained the People's Liberation Army's documents clearly describe how China government, how this communism government studied the laws, studies about weapon convention, studies about defense system all over the world, and then they found that they can use some weakness of that. For example, coronavirus is a great candidate. In 2015, bioweapon General Deng Zhongxu has published a textbook to military students endorsed by central government in China to tell people, based on their experience in SARS-1, coronavirus is ideal candidate to develop the novel bioweapon to target humans using genetic technology. I have this book. I have sent it to many people in DC and department people who related to intelligence or journalists, all the other people. And if you can read in Chinese, this actually is open online. And they have told you that they know this is ideal candidate because it can be the low death rate. And the China government always want to find something looks like nature occurring. And because it looks like nature occurring, so when it come out, it's so hidden. And China looks innocent. But they also know once there are some scientists with justice pointed out, people would understand it come from the lab. Then China government also have another tool to help them. That is misinformation and denial. These plans come out from 1990s and even before, but after 1990s, they make it as national strategy. And since SARS-1 happened, they learn more knowledge. The top lab to do SARS-1 study is my lab, WHO reference lab at the University of Hong Kong. My big boss, Professor Manik Peiris, I can tell you, is not innocent. It's the international bridge between this scientific campaign to China military. And also, they know that this virus, once they start to use misinformation, because of the weakness of the law system you have, you cannot punish them. China government know organizations of bioweapon convention has given kind of standard definition of traditional bioweapon. Usually it means the bioweapon you used in the war, target military, and also cause the big scale of injury or death immediately, right? But this one, no. Low death rate is not in the war. It non-specific target all the people, including Chinese. There's no genetic difference that it can protect Chinese people. But China also know from all the biodefense system against bioterrorism, no matter in America, in Russia, or European Union, they didn't include the bioreagents as coronavirus. That means your biodefense system to surveillance the bioterrorism attacks works well. But because coronavirus is not in the list, people didn't realize China can be so evil. So this one was not monitored. And China knows, they described in their documents, that this kind of low death rate novel bioweapon, coronavirus-based bioweapon, can cause the chaos in enemy's country. The chaos including the medical system overloaded, and economic breakdown, and also found out it will ruin your face to your system, to your government. And at that time, China can do propaganda. Maybe some of people will start to think that, oh, communists attack China is a good trial. We can try that in America. So what I want to tell people is, this is unrestricted bioweapon. That was the main part China developed. And also, during the development, there is no limitation of humanity and no restriction of bottom line. And China has established, founded more this kind of lab in China since the outbreak of COVID and out of China in the One Belt, One Road countries. They are delivering this low-cost technology all over the world. And you can imagine what they are going to do. And they are also encouraging the large scale of study of other novel viruses, potentially can target human. And let's come back to the motive. I always tell people that the motive you need to ask the killer himself. But we can see from all this evidence, China had this idea that using Marxism, Maoism to conquer the world by 2035, they didn't hide it. And also, after this COVID, Chinese government, Chairman Xi Jinping, they want to learn the experience from COVID-19 and to using prevention and control of emerging infectious disease to make this kind of achievement faster than 2035. And what we have seen in America now, I see there is mandate promises for masks, for vaccines, for all different types of things. And as Chinese, I can tell you, I'm very familiar with mandate. And now you still need your government to explain to you why we need mandate. But in China, we don't need that. We know the government said mandate is mandate. As long as you want to survive out of the prison, you listen to that. So mandate is an efficient method and a very classic one to control people, to divide your country. Always people will be separated into pro or against this policy. And that's what China wants, because they always know their primary enemy is America. If they cannot compete with America, they can pull you down, undermine you, and then the distance get less. So that's the nature of this pandemic, and that's why you see the mandate things. And we actually are in the war against communism. And the nature of communism is human, antichrist. Jesus told us, believe in God and love people. But Communist Party told us, there is no God, no faith, only communism, and also hate people, distrust each other. So today, I'm here. I know many Americans, when they hear the things, when they see me, they will ask me, so now we are in somewhere like China, right? We are frustrated. We didn't see the hope. But I won't tell you, as long as we still have opportunity standing here in front of you to tell this truth to you, there is still hope. When I came to America in end of April 2020, I know China won't disappear me, and I know if I come to America, there is hope to let people know the truth and stop this evil plan. I know the hope is in America. After over 1 year, after many tour speech I gave with the Global COVID Summit about America, I realized the real hopes are brave American patriots like you. You are the hope. We have to work together. I want to tell people, we are here fighting against the communism China, fighting against their evil plans, including unrestricted bioweapons. Fight against this mandate policy which gives damage to people who should never suffer from that. And we don't want China government to turn America into China. We want help Americans to change China into America. Please, I hope all of you think about your future, your next generation's future, everyone you care, you love's future. We want a safe future. We don't need mandate. We don't want to suffer from enemy's very end. We don't want to suffer from this kind of chaos. We want to go back to normal life, enjoy our life. And please tell people the truth of COVID-19. This is the best thing we can do, and we need to fight against the evil communism and their partners, no matter what name it is. You need two things. One is courage, the other is evidence. Today, we are here. We provide you evidence you need. And we need your courage. Thank you.